All right. Are we getting? Jesus Christ!
What is
All right.
why?
I don't know. John always walks away right when we get ready to go live. Is everybody about ready for this? Not that I think we have very many people here today. As a matter of fact, it looks like we have nobody here today.
Nobody's listening? But I'm on the podcast. This should boost the ratings, right?
Not as of yet. Not as of yet. Yeah, no, this could be very well the lowest rated podcast that we have, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited to have you here. So right now, people can, if anybody's watching, which it seems like they're not, they can only hear your voice, which is fine. We'll let them see your face here in just a second. We're going to go ahead and get this kicked off. So let's get the party friggin' started. Welcome back to Error 404, everybody. I am They Call Me Toby 2. Along with me, as always, is D-Flix, a.k.a. John Johnson, a.k.a. the director, a.k.a. the guy with the hat, a.k.a. whatever else egotistical thing he wants to put on his name. And then the show is Zombie Bry. Everybody give him a round of applause. All Amber, technically Amber Rose, thank you for being here. Love your guys' faces. As usual, we talk about movies and pop culture and stuff like that. And I figured let's bring in Zombie Bry because he's always a fun, entertaining person that's got great viewpoints on movies and other pop culture that most people aren't aware of. So I've got the guy that usually knows the most weird movies and movie trivia. And then I've got the guy that has pop culture movie and movie trivia. And then right down here at the bottom is the guy that doesn't know any of it. So I'm really just here for comedic effect. That's why I put them next to each other, because if there's going to be movie debates, it's probably going to be between them.
That's not true. You always have an opinion.
Just because I have an opinion doesn't mean that I know what I'm talking about. Let's just put that out there.
Yeah, but the debates usually do happen. They just happen off screen.
I just.
Why? We don't need that. God fucking.
Actually, we had a competition, Zombie and Zombie beat me by 1 point.
Yeah, I did. Well, all right. It would have been more, but the cards are rigged and they're easy. So
that was.
Yeah. It got harder at the end.
It did.
Would you guys do like a trivia night or something?
We had I found SPT Troll got us a competition trivia game, horror trivia game. And so we tested it out, and we went neck and neck for maybe 50 cards, and then eventually, he got me with 1 point.
I'm not gonna lie, that's actually a really good game for the two of you to play.
Yeah, it was fun. Most of the questions were easy, but then they got to I got one ridiculous one. What was the hat somebody was wearing in their dream on the Thursday of the it was and who played Carrie? It was fucked up. It was just
see what's bad was the questions that I've failed at. I could have easily answered had I seen the fucking movie. I got a Lost Boys question and I failed it because I have only seen that movie twice.
What was the question?
I don't remember. It was something about the name of a character or something. I don't remember, but it didn't.
Was the name of the dog.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I don't know.
Yeah. See, I mean, yeah.
And it's named Nanook because of.
Oh wait, wasn't it Coda?
No, that's my.
No, it was like Nikita or fuck.
Nanook.
It was Nanook. Didn't you say Nanook?
Nanook. Yeah, Nanook.
It's the first.
I knew it was I knew it was like Inuit related. Yeah.
That's the Nanook of the North.
Actually,
that's the first documentary in 1912.
We go again. We have to answer the question, but then also add something to it. I have to give a note about the movie. Actually, if you didn't know, the one that
we should redo that because I want to rematch. I mean, even though I won.
Vote in Jaws. That kills me. Right. I didn't know that.
All right. Well, was that your question or mine?
It was yours, but I didn't know it either.
Yeah, I could see that. I remembered the scene that they showed it in, but I didn't know. What y'all think of the Forever Purge?
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
I
It's
haven't seen it.
it was
I like
it's
part
not
2.
it's not the best of the Purge movies, but it wasn't the worst. I think the first one's the best because that one actually feels like a semi-realistic, like home invasion type of spooky movie,
I
and
like
then the
watching
rest of
Ethan
them.
Hawke cry. I mean, I do, but when I don't want to watch Ethan Hawke cry, I look for plot and storyline. And I think part 2. Actually, I like part 2 because it really had the.
That's you're talking about Anarchy, right? Isn't
I
that the
think
second
so.
one?
It's the one that's Escape from New York, kind of. And actually, Toby really likes the guy who was in. Oh crap! What was it? Where he kept dying every day we watched. He died
Boss Level.
Yeah, the main guy from that is the main guy in Purge 2.
God, I loved that. I loved Boss Level. That's just stupid, fun action through the entire movie. I loved that movie.
Yeah, it was great.
I like movies that I don't really have. Like, I can just sit back and my brain can just shut off and still be entertained. Like,
That's why he likes my movies.
See, I can't do that. I've ruined my movie going experience by trying my hardest to figure out how they film certain things when I'm watching it. Like I can't. The first time I sit down and watch a movie, I can't sit there and just turn off my brain and watch it. I have to sit there and be like, oh, that's a nice shot. I wonder how they did that, or why that specific line they said that, or how they did that effect or something. I always do that, and it ruins my experience watching the movie. But it does give me, I guess, more filmmaking experience. I don't know.
It is definitely, it's difficult to like watch a movie as a filmmaker when you've made enough movies and you start seeing past the wall.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure Toby has experienced this as well. Like you just start seeing like you don't see the story anymore. It's hard to get into it.
I see things. I see things now, not as from a director's perspective, but as an actor's perspective. Like, I'm thinking of like, what is everything that this person's looking at? Like, is this guy reciting a line with nobody in front of him? Or how many times is like, because when you film with John uses one camera. So for each angle, you're just going through the entire scene over and over again. And I know a lot of, Hollywood productions, they usually have multiple cameras, so they can get away with just saying it one time, but it flips in your head. Like, how many times did these guys have to say it and try to do it essentially the same exact way? Are they talking to somebody? Is there somebody actually looking at them and reciting their lines like they're actually going through the scene? Or are they just saying their lines so that the other person can say their lines for the close-up? Like, I see things like that. The other thing that I've started to notice is that I've noticed that I look for when I watch movies is I look for the Chekhov's gun.
What?
I look for that.
Why do I not know what that is?
It's a plot point. It's like, oh, okay, you see Toby drinking this Monster Rehab. That's going to play. There's a reason why that's being shown, because later on in the movie, that's going to have some sort of significance. So I'm always looking for that at the beginning of movies now.
There was something like that in a movie I just recently watched. It was called Force of Nature with Mel Gibson. And it was one of this guy. So it's about these people who get trapped in this like hotel area in Puerto Rico, and they all speak English for some reason. I don't know why they're not. That's weird. But during a hurricane, and they're all American in Puerto Rico. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so,
I mean, it's part of America, right?
Yeah, it's part. Yeah.
Sure, fine, but it's not the most American part of America. So whatever. Anyway. So they're all trapped in there during a hurricane, and one of the tenants has this door, and there's a thing locked behind it, and he went to the store and bought like 100 pounds of meat and stuff, and he's like, I gotta feed her before we leave, because they're trying to evacuate this whole apartment, and everybody's like, what the hell is it? What are you talking about? And then they don't show it throughout the entire movie. You hear things, but they don't show it until the entire movie, and then at the end, one flash of lightning when it looked like a tiger jumped out of the doorway. But the entire movie, they allude to it like there's something there. You don't know what it is. They don't talk about it. I thought it was a MacGuffin at first because they mentioned it the one time in the beginning, and then that was it. And it came back at the end. So technically, it's not a MacGuffin. But
I've seen a couple of movies where they constantly talk about something, but they never allude to like what it actually is, and it drives me like the movie ends and you're like, wait a minute, what about that shit they were talking about all movie long? And then they just like dump it off, and you're like, If there's not a part 2,
Lord
that
of the Rings is the best series ever.
what's that? The Lord of the Rings?
Oh yeah, and this is the books, like in books as well. So the entire storyline, they're like, whatever you do, don't wake up this big bad guy because he's going to wreck shop. And this guy's becoming this super knight. He's becoming king. He's leading an army of the dead. Whatever you do, don't wake up that guy, and then don't wake up that guy. That guy does the happy dance and falls in the lava. Fuck that movie. Like it just, or the books, like it just.
Wait a minute. Wait. You can't listen. You can't.
Did I not say that this is what was going to happen? That's why I'm down here.
It's only because Lord of the Rings is one of the greatest creations of all time, and it's.
I agree with that. It's the
my heart.
greatest worst creation ever. Same with Sopranos.
I mean, okay, so do you agree with that scene in Clerks 2 when Randall was making fun of the movies?
No.
It's like all those movies are just a bunch of fucking people
I think the movies
walking
are
to a
great. I
fucking
think that's why
volcano.
I think that's why it drives me nuts, is because it's so good that like it just doesn't have an ending. It just kind of went.
Yeah, that's why Peter Jackson added like 15 different endings on the end of Return of the King.
That helped.
Lord of the fucking Long movie. God damn it. Good. It's good. It's real good.
That is true. He hadn't faded out as many times. It wouldn't have felt as long. But he just kept fading out. He kept being movies over.
Yeah. Well, it's because he tried to. That was all part of the book, though. Like the there's so much in the books that aren't in the movies either, which is ridiculous.
Well, it's like with the Snyder. It's the same thing. I mean, Snyder cut of Justice League is only as long as it is because they added like 3 hours of fucking slow-mo footage.
I never saw the original Justice League. I just went straight into the Snyder cut, so I have no prior reference.
Then you watched the good version. Trust me, the Snyder cut is miles above the original. Like,
the only reason I cared to watch the Snyder cut was to just see that Joker scene, and I hate that they waited until the fucking 4-hour mark to finally show me the whole thing. I didn't really care for the movie. I just wanted to see the Joker scene, and I had to watch the whole damn thing.
But the Snyder cut really did bring a little bit more respectability to the Jared Leto Joker than Suicide Squad by itself did. Like it really brought a little bit more legitimacy to his version of the Joker. Like I'm glad that they did that.
Too. And Royce is a big Joker snob, so like when he says the Joker's good, like it's usually worth watching.
Yeah, I was never a big fan of. Yeah, I was not a big fan of the Leto Joker until the Snyder cut came out. And I was like,
Can I throw out an unpopular opinion?
That might do.
Well, not. I mean, this is a very unpopular opinion that's probably going to get me yelled at, but I think The Dark Knight is slightly overrated. For just wait.
No, I agree with that.
Here's the thing: anytime anybody ever talks about The Dark Knight, they're always talking about Heath Ledger's performance. That's it. They don't give a shit about the rest of the movie. All they're talking about is him as the Joker the whole time.
If it wasn't for Heath Ledger's performance, The Dark Knight would have been the worst Batman movie ever made. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Think about like how much they spent building up Two-Face, and then just like he should have been the villain of the third movie. Like they built up this whole character and then just got rid of him in like 2 seconds.
One of the biggest problems that the Batman franchise has done is they're consistently, regardless of who the director is, if that director stays too long, if the studio keeps with one person too long, they jump the shark on that Batman series by adding more characters than need to be in, and they either leave one completely out or they try to give everybody equal screen time, which just convolutes the entire story going along. I mean, what in which one was it? They had Two-Face, the Riddler, and Mr. Freeze.
That was
yeah,
Batman
like
Robin.
That's too much. It's too much. They legitimately could have had a movie where they had just Two-Face, and they could have had a movie with just the Joker. There's no sense on having them both. And if they were, they could have at least given, like you said, they could have given Two-Face way more. Like from the moment he became essentially made the decision, I'm now going to be this bad guy, to the time that he died, it was like a total of 3-4 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
No, thanks. It was great. It was great seeing Harvey Dent.
And the other one was the third one where like Robin finds out he's Batman because he just looks at him like, I know those sadness in your eyes. Like you live in fucking Gotham. Everybody's sad. Like everybody's Batman. Like how would you know that this is fucking? I was like, I was so pissed. I was like, all right. Guess we don't
Yeah,
care
the third
anymore.
one's not the best. It's okay. That's the thing. Even with the Joker or Heath Ledger as the Joker in the Dark Knight would still be the best out of the three of those because Batman Begins was kind of boring, and the Dark Knight
Batman
Rises was
Begins made a really bad mistake. They casted Liam Neeson as a ninja, which is problem number one. So the first thing that they would do is they would have like fight sequence, but they would do it like so you couldn't tell what was happening because they wanted Liam Neeson to like look good in doing the fight. And I don't know what happened in that movie. I think Batman won. I don't know.
Well, he was in a cave for like 45 minutes of the fucking movie, so with a broken back.
Now, okay, here's a question for everybody. Who's your favorite Batman and who's your favorite Bruce Wayne?
Mine are the same person.
Keaton?
You already know my argument to this. Ben Affleck is the best Batman and Bruce Wayne combination that has existed in the Batman universe. He plays a perfect Bruce Wayne and he plays a perfect Batman.
Jesus Christ.
Every other Batman that I've seen on screen plays a really good one or the other. Nobody balances it perfectly like Ben Affleck's Batman does.
Yeah. You're not wrong. I might have to agree with you on that because I can't see, well, because okay. Maybe I would say maybe George Clooney is a pretty good Bruce Wayne.
It was a good Bruce Wayne.
But just fucking not a good
No,
Batman. But Batman wise,
Like me
I would say I'm gonna have to say Ben Affleck probably. Not gonna lie.
If I have to select as individuals and I'm not looking at one person doing both roles, I will go with Keaton as my Batman and I will go with Clooney as my Bruce Wayne as individuals. But overall, the person that balanced both of those characters equally really well was Affleck. I have no doubt in my I was so skeptical when I heard that Affleck was going to do it. And then I watched the movie and I was like, "Oh, I was pleasantly surprised."
They definitely modeled it after like the video game, like the fight attack and like stuff like that. It was very much after the Asylum.
He's very Arkham series Batman.
I would say
Brian's got something.
My favorite Batman in the cowl is Kilmer, and my favorite Bruce Wayne is Keaton because he was insane. He literally would drift off. He would literally like be talking to you and then they're like, "I don't ever been in this room before." This is a man who dresses like a bat and hangs upside down. He's not gonna be all that.
Right, but I think we're looking at more of the assumptions of how somebody would act if they went through the trauma. That's not really based on like how he is in the comics. Like Bruce Wayne doesn't just drift off in the comics.
He felt a lot like he was
in the comics, so I wouldn't know. I don't know how to judge that.
He felt sort of like Beetlejuice. He slipped into some Beetlejuice when he was being Bruce Wayne.
You want to get nuts?
Yeah.
Let's get nuts.
There's a lot of Beetlejuice in there. It's weird.
Okay, so if you could cast somebody now to be Batman and Bruce Wayne combo,
God,
who would you pick?
Oof. Oh shit!
Well, can we pull from anything? Like anybody? Doesn't matter if they're part of the MCU or some shit or whatever. It doesn't matter.
He's just saying any actor. In all honesty, I'm going to give an answer to this the same way that I give an answer to people asking me who should be the next Wolverine. Somebody that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Somebody I've never seen before that reads the comics, that knows about them, that is just all about it. Like you wouldn't have to like bring them up to speed as to who this person is, how they act. Like they know everything about it and they're able to embody that character. Like an actor that is a good actor, but also is like all in when it comes to playing this part. Just like I think the perfect Wolverine will be somebody we've never seen before, an actor that nobody's ever heard of, that knows all about the character. I think that would be our best option for the next Batman. I'm not looking for a superstar actor. I'm looking for somebody that can play the part.
Yeah, I feel like that's a better option to do a nobody because, yeah. But if I had to pick somebody that's out there, I I don't know if it would be the best choice, but personally, I think it would be interesting for me to see Chris Evans try and do that. I think he could possibly pull it off.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just feel like he out of any big, hulking fucking superhero actor nowadays, I think he would be the best.
I can't
I like
help
Paul
but
Walker.
when I think of Chris Evans, I immediately think of Scott Pilgrim versus the World as a skater guy. Like, and so I imagine him as Bruce Wayne. Like, you want me to do a grind on that rail? Like, I just
Oh boy.
I think for me, I've always liked Clive Owen. And I think Clive Owen would be an amazing Batman and Bruce Wayne. Like very like.
That's
Well,
yeah.
it's an out there choice, but
It's an out there choice, but the moment you think about it, I think he's onto something there.
Yeah, especially if we did like the was it not Kingdom Come, but where he's the old Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he would nail that.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting a little bit on his age, though. I mean, you'd have to do a pretty aged Batman for him.
Yeah, sadly.
Here's a question for both of you. Do you think that they should reintroduce Robin into the Batman franchise?
Well, yeah. They've been screwing him since Schumacher. I mean, before that even probably too, I'd say. I feel so sad for what the fuck? Why can't I'm blanking on his name. Who played?
Are you talking about Chris O'Donnell?
Who the hell? Burt Ward.
Oh, since Burt Ward?
I feel like they've been dude, listen, it's terrible. I mean, I get that that's more comical, that Batman is more comical. But like Jesus,
they gave Burt Ward the line, "Holy cats, it's a cat."
Listen, out of the two of those, Batman and Robin back then, I feel like Batman, they're both ridiculous and you can't take any of them seriously, but I feel like if you looked at either of them, you could take Batman a little bit more seriously than Robin.
Here's what always kind of confused me when I knew that the first Batman with when Michael Keaton's Batman was getting ready to hit. When I watched it, I was like, "Where's Robin?" You never saw up to that point. You never saw Batman without Robin. Like you just didn't.
That's true.
I'm like, okay, so where's Robin? And then they came out with Batman and Robin. I was like, oh. And then I was like, nipple suits. Never mind. Jesus.
I did not notice the nipple suits. I had to be told that later.
You didn't notice the nipple suits?
Well, I didn't notice it either because I was when did that come on?
There was the butt. I remember they had the butt shot.
97. Batman and Robin was 97, 98.
Something like that.
97 or 98, yeah, I think.
Yeah, I was 7 or 8 years old when that came out. When I saw it, I didn't notice anything at all. I was just excited about the movie. I still like them. It's a nostalgic thing for me. I think that they're terrible movies, but I just like them because
they've
been
fit
watching
what
them.
they are now. Like at the time, we were expecting more Tim Burton, Dark Knight stuff, and we got Adam West. So now they're not bad to look at because you're just kind of like, oh, it's that. It's not. You're not comparing them anymore.
Well, and I think that's an important thing to remember too. Is like John just brought up a really good point. Is that what a lot of people don't realize is that there's a vast difference in the director styles and what they wanted to portray the visuals to be like between the Burton Batman and newer ones that had come out. Because with the newer ones after Burton, they wanted to make it more campy. They wanted to bring it back to like the original Batman TV show and kind of have that feel to the movie, that campiness feel. Which is why Harvey Keitel was so over the top. Which is why the Riddler was so over the top. Like they were designed to be campy, and I think the moment that people kind of realize that and understand that they're not meant to be taken as seriously as like the Tim Burton Batmans, it's a little bit more enjoyable to watch.
Wait, did you say Harvey Keitel?
You meant?
Yeah, I said Harvey Keitel, but I meant Harvey Dent.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck? Like, okay.
Harvey Keitel as Two-Face? I
can
can see that. I could see Harvey Keitel as a Two-Face, though.
Yeah.
He'd be a great Gordon, like an old Gordon.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, who would you cast as Robin if you were casting Robin now?
Honestly, yeah, like, it's as much as it sucks because he's already part of the MCU. If I went with a pre-existing actor, I think I would go with Tom Holland.
I think we should just stick with Joseph Gordon-Levitt because we never got to see him in full on Robin
It's
mode.
true.
I think he would have been pretty good, actually.
I don't know. I don't know if I really see him as somebody that would do acrobatics in the actiony stuff though that Robin does. Like he's not a, to me. Just his body type and his mannerisms do not. They don't really express that type of background. Like you would see him immediately start doing flips and spins and stuff like that, and you're like, "Where the fuck did he learn that?" Like at what point in time between these movies?
Maybe he's not Grayson. Maybe he's like one of the other ones.
Jason
Yeah.
Todd.
Like Jason Todd, who's just angry.
Yeah,
Just-
something like that. Yeah.
Just an angry guy kills everything. Like
Who's the one that got killed?
Grayson.
Is that him? In the
No,
Red Hood or whatever,
Second
under
one.
the Red Hood?
The second one got killed with a Joker beat him to death with
Tim,
a.
was it Blake? What was his name? Tim Blake?
I think it was Tim Blake.
Yeah. I don't know. Either way, whatever that one, that was a good Robin. I don't remember shit about it, but that was, I
Okay.
have no idea what I'm talking about anymore. Never mind. Just
All
ignore
right.
it.
So
Fine.
one of the subjects I wanted to go over was Toby and I kind of played a game. We were trying to find movies that we would recommend together. Now the way this works is that we would list our favorite movies of a genre, and if we couldn't agree that one was better than the other, we had to annihilate. Like our two top choices would get taken off the list because they null each other out. So we had to find the movie that we both liked that would be the one that we would recommend as a team. Because what started it? Like we found something we liked that we're just like.
I don't know. You just pulled out well, I think we were talking about Star Wars first.
Yeah.
We were just on a Star Wars conversation because I was destined that weekend to sit down and show you the errors in your ways that Wedge Antilles is a garbage character. Now, we're not going to get into that right now.
Right.
Even though everybody except for you apparently knows that it's true. But that's what started it. So John's like, I grabbed a tablet and I'm like, oh God, are we going to do pros and cons of Wedge Antilles for Christ's sakes? Nope.
No.
He was just like, all right, what's your favorite sci-fi movie? I was like, what? So and then it became your favorite horror and then all these other genres. And he's like, give me your top three. And I'm like, Jesus, okay, like put me on the spot here. Like I'm not good at this.
So what we got? Let's looking at Western. His top three were High Plains, Tombstone, and Good, Bad, and the Ugly. My top three were Young Guns, Once Upon a Time in the West, and Tombstone.
So, overall,
So Tombstone was our
Yeah.
the one that
Tombstone
we-
is what we'd agreed on, but what would be your top three, Brian?
Yeah.
And don't say that stupid ass
He can say whatever he
fucking
wants.
killed by Robert Ford garbage movie that you want to talk
Garbage?
You haven't seen it?
It's not garbage. Oh my
It's,
god.
God, it's not even. It's the cinematics aren't even good in it.
Oh, you're trying. You're trying on purpose, and I don't like it.
He's like getting all twitchy.
That is the
No,
best
I got
part of that
Parkinson's.
movie. I don't want to do
Let
it. I
me
don't want
keep
to get into it. What?
So this is how I got Parkinson's. I see you wiggling. Like just
Yeah,
don't let him get
you see, Brian, he started to kind of.
I don't. It's okay. Well, I'm gonna put that as my number one because it's my favorite. So
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. That's why we did it, so we could see like the difference in opinions as far as like, and it kind of puts you into the mindset of like, what is the other one? What is by knowing what movies are like our favorites, it kind of gives you an in-depth perspective as to how we view movies.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, I
and
can
also,
tell you
like, what
the-
would you recommend? Like, what is a movie that we both agree is good? That takes out our top list, but it's like we both would recommend this movie.
I can tell you right now, my top three. It will not be any closer to your choices
That's fine.
because Tombstone's not in my top three. It's a good movie, but it's not top three for me.
Well, most of our top threes didn't have similarities.
But I would say the other two, I don't know if, and these are in any specific order except for the Jesse James one, but Appaloosa and The Shootist.
Okay.
All good movies. I mean, not,
Yeah, like, what would
not
happen
the
is
Howard
like,
Robert Ford one, but the other ones were good.
what would happen is like Like, so let's say we
So
were
slow,
in a horror
Brian.
film.
It is slow,
And-
but I've watched it several times at this point. Like, it doesn't even bother me now. The timing, it's fine. I will admit, it took me 3 times to watch that movie in its entirety. But then I got through it, and sorry, I cut you off. But yeah, what were you saying?
What was I saying?
I
Plan
have
9
no
is available on Amazon Prime, and no. So we disagreed on horror films, but we had his top was Cabin in the Woods, and mine was Evil Dead 2. So we had to take them both off the list. We had to find the next one down that we both agreed on.
And we already know you're going to say Halloween.
No, that'd be number 2.
Friday the 13th?
No,
God no.
you're not gonna like my number 1.
I'm curious because you always
No, how
tout
do you not
Halloween.
know?
You
I
always
thought you
tout
literally
Halloween.
masturbate into a Michael Myers mask. Like I thought that was
Yeah.
your thing.
Yeah. Every time he talks about horror, it's Halloween comes first every
No.
time.
Those masks were black
no.
and now they're white because of you.
My favorite horror. This is I feel like I'm gonna lose respect for this, but that's fine. You know what? I've been losing respect my entire life. It's okay.
Please tell me it's Rubber.
God, no. Oh, no.
Rubber's a
What
good
is-
movie.
Listen.
I love that movie.
No, that movie is not. I understand the joke. But
Oh,
like,
Blair Witch,
yeah, the Blair Witch.
Yeah,
Project.
Blair Witch. Yep. Okay. Yep. That's it.
which is like Rubber. It's a concept thing. It's like a gimmick.
Okay. Can I say something? Like Bri was like, you guys are gonna flip your lids and you're gonna be upset when I say this. Bri, I'm gonna upset you even more.
Oh, great. Good.
I have not seen and refuse to ever see Blair Witch Project.
You get pretty bored with it.
I will never watch it
Why?
because I know it's boring as shit.
Well, okay. I mean, it's okay. Yes, there's not technically in the entire movie they don't see the witch and they don't catch any kind of evidence or anything like that. So, in terms of story,
Sounds
pretty
interesting.
stupid. It's pretty boring, but that
So
was
the best British film for him would be Cloverfield. I think Cloverfield, you would enjoy that.
He's talking about me, Bri.
oh, you've never seen
You think-
Cloverfield either?
No, I haven't.
I think you'd like that one. It's quick, it's fast, it's got a good look to it.
Bri, are you gonna come over like the day before the meetup and we're just gonna sit down and you're gonna make me watch some movies? Is that
Can
what
we-
we're doing?
I mean,
Yes.
can we do that? Is that a thing? Because I have. If you haven't seen Cloverfield, okay, but only if we can watch the Blair Witch Project.
No.
Oh, come
Then
on!
then you're not even allowed at the meetup if that's
Oh
if
my
that's the deal.
God! Fine.
Actually, the way he should watch Blair Witch Project is with the commentary on.
That
I
might
think
be.
I think he would enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean the commentary's got to be more interesting than the filmography on it.
Well, I feel like the reason
So you learn like how they
that's
did the
not
movie.
fair then, because then the reason you're going to like the movie if you decide to like it is because of the commentary, because of what's the word?
The production value,
No. What the?
cinematography.
Nope. What the hell? What am I trying to?
You're doing a great job describing it so far.
the fucking campaigning thing for it. What am I talking about?
Marketing.
Yes, marketing.
Marketing?
God damn. Why that? Yes, that. I feel like the only reason you're going to like this movie is because of the marketing, because of how the lengths that they went to make this the most believable movie.
Well, it was the same thing with Rubber. Rubber was like, it was a concept. It's like a tire is the killer. That's the concept. That's what gets you in the butts in the seat.
I love
Blair
the fact
Witch,
that you know that the tire's name is Robert, but they don't ever say anything about the tire's name throughout the entire movie.
And it was also the first one I think they'd be shot with a DSLR, like a first film all the way through to be shot with a DSLR. It's like
Yep.
a 5D or something. But it's the concept that got you in the seat. And Blair Witch was the same thing. The concept was they're dead. This is real footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna go with the found footage genre, I still go to Paranormal Activity.
I will. Good choice. Still, I will say the first time I did see the Blair Witch Project, I hated it because there was nothing happened throughout the entire movie. You didn't see the witch, nothing like that, and it was I felt cheated. And then literally the next year, I decided to sit down. This was well after when I decided to start liking movies and appreciate what I was seeing. This was after I saw Halloween, and actually Halloween was the first horror movie I ever saw. So, yeah, I was 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
The first horror movie I ever saw? Jaws.
Well.
The second horror movie I ever saw? American Werewolf in London.
Jesus.
I am now permanently scarred because of both of those movies because I saw them both before I was the age of 9.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I think I saw that
Like, they both messed me up, but still 2 of my favorite movies.
I saw
can't.
Ghostbusters when I was 5 years old, and it fucked me up.
Well, we laughed, Fry, because we watched it when we were a little bit older than 5. So we kind of understood what was going on the screen. But as a 5-year-old watching Ghostbusters, you don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
You don't know if what you're seeing is real. Like, honestly, he's 5.
I think it was the chair scene.
That's what I feel. I feel like
The one with
Sigourney Weaver and all the stuff's coming out of the chair.
that's my favorite scene in the entire movie.
Yeah, I was not happy.
I think I think I saved myself from being scared of horror movies because how early I saw Halloween, and like from that point forward I immediately desensitized myself because after Halloween it was Friday the 13th part 4 and 5 back to back, and then like I just expanded to wherever, and at like 12 years old I was like, give me gore, I want to see everybody die, let's go. I was already fucked up. So
I get 12. I got to that point too, like when I was watching movies. But another one that I remember, Superman 3 scared the shit out of me.
No, I understand what he's talking about with this because him and I have had this discussion, and he brings up a pretty good point. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a weird thing that like they did in the 80s where they would take like one scene from a standard movie that doesn't have anything scary in it, and they would just go really fucking far for whatever damn reason. It's when she gets caught in the corridor and the machine's like going into her skin and shit like that. It's like, why are we watching Hellraiser? We're supposed to be watching
where she gets like, it's like the electronics like lose their mind. She starts getting wrapped in the wires and all the metal like bonds to her skin, and
yeah,
it's like none of the movie was like that at any point in time, and then all of a sudden it just went dark and horrific for like 3 minutes, and you're like,
Richard Pryor off a building. That's what we watched right before that.
I think there's only one movie on record that scared me in one specific scene. And it's the dumbest thing ever because it's not even supposed to be like scary. But it was the the It TV movie with Tim Curry.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene when he's looking at the photo album, looking at, and Georgie's picture comes up and then it fucking winks at him and starts bleeding. And he throws the book. The wink scared the shit out of me.
No, that movie, I
did not see that coming.
It came on cable, so like anybody could see it basically. Everybody I know, like my age, when we saw it the first time, was like fucked. Like you're in your shower and you're looking at the thing, you're like, eh.
Nothing else in that movie was scary for me. That one scene, I did not see it coming. He just winked. It was weird. And then I guess technically, just recently I watched, Antrim, the cursed film, and there was a couple bits in that movie that unnerved me to the point where I literally had to look away from the screen.
You want to get me to look away from a screen? Have anything to do with eyes? Like something going into or near an eye, I will look away from that screen faster than anything. I'm like, nope.
So I take it you've never seen that Eyes Without a Face?
No.
Where they do the knife across the eye or the cow eye?
No, I can't. I've had like serious eye trauma in my past while I was in the military and prior to the military, and I can't watch anything with eye trauma. Cannot. Like I'm like, nope.
There's a scene in Zombie too, when this girl gets her head pushed into that little splinter that's poking out. Oh, horrible.
So I'm gonna base a quick discussion based on something that I just saw Grimlock post not too long ago. John, what do you guys? What are your opinions on this? I completely disagree with what he's saying, and the reason why I disagree is the reason why Jaws was so brilliant was really because of an accident. The reason why Jaws works as well as it does is because of all the problems they had with the prop shark, with the mechanical shark, right? Mm-hmm. Like the problems that they had with it is why you never really see the shark until like the last 20 minutes of the movie. And it's just horrifying. It's that fear of the unknown, the fear of what's not being seen. And that's what makes it a horror over an action. Like,
I think it's horror because it follows the horror structure. Like it has an
Yeah.
opening scene where a person is killed by the creature before the credits, kind of thing. Like
I don't
it's
even.
it's all set. It's very formulaic, but it's also terrifying.
I wouldn't say it's an action movie at all. I don't know.
It got
Like,
classified as an action movie because Spielberg didn't want it to be horror because then it
Oh.
wouldn't make enough money, and
Yeah,
so they
well,
reclassified it. Another movie that did that was Silence of the Lambs. It invented a genre of film because it didn't want to be classified as a horror. A suspense thriller was invented for Silence of the Lambs.
really?
Yeah, and it doesn't even exist anymore.
I've heard that. Yeah.
They don't have suspense thrillers anymore?
No, like whenever you flip through like any of your like apps and it says suspense thriller.
I mean, like, in all honesty, like the latest Invisible Man, I could see being labeled as a
Oh
suspense.
yeah, there's movies that still fit
well,
that
they kept
genre,
the
but
thriller.
They don't have the genre anymore.
Yeah.
Thriller is still a genre, but the suspense part's kind of not there.
Yeah, suspense
I
thriller
like
was
ex-
made for
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs, so it wouldn't be classified as a horror film, even though it's a fucking horror film.
I love extremely suspenseful movies. I love the movies that have, you've got the music or there's a sound that happens before every like major action. This is one of the reasons I love. That's really one of the reasons why I love Paranormal Activity so much. Is you get that.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Like-
bring it up. You can
you're
hear
like,
that
oh,
before
shit.
something happens.
You're like something's gonna happen, and it still shocks you every time because it goes away. You get that whoa.
It's like it's a warning.
And you're
like,
like, oh, okay, it's over. Wha-bam! And you're like, ah!
It's like a warning. Like, prepare your ass because here we go, and then it goes away, and you're like, well, they're not gonna do that every time, are they? Oh, every time.
I know
I think it
there's
would
a
have
lot
been better
of
as a short film.
What?
I think it would have been better as a short film because every time those actors talked, I would hang myself.
Oh yeah, they're. Let's be honest, they weren't the best actors. In all honesty, so, Brian, you've seen the American version of Wreck, right?
Quarantine.
Quarantine. Okay.
Yeah.
So the girl that was in Quarantine, she was in essentially like a spin-off or like a one-off of Paranormal Activity. You know about that one too, right? I think they called it what was it called? Paranormal Activity, I think. Or no, but it was another paranormal one. Because you got Paranormal Activity and then they had like another paranormal, but it was essentially the same exact storyline. But she was the main character in that one, and she is a far better actress.
Hold on. Are you talking? Hold on. I know
Did
who
you
you're
ever
talking
see
about.
Wreck 3?
I have not seen Rec 3. I couldn't get through Rec 2 because it was so like it showed for a very short period of time. Rec 2 did, but they never made it. It's not easily accessible in the US. Like it came out and then it was like gone again, and it's almost like they banned it in the US because it's so hard to find.
Wreck
So
3, I would just skip right to it. It's so goddamn good. Like it gets to like Evil Dead kind of level. Like a guy puts on a night suit.
There's
Like
not.
he's at a
no
wedding.
other-
It's
like he puts on like a
Yeah.
a suit of armor.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh,
The only other movie that Jennifer Carpenter's been in that's horror like that is The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
okay,
good.
which was also an amazing movie. No,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
telling
good.
you, the girl that played the reporter, the one that went to the fire station, she's
Yeah.
gawking at the firemen. I know she was in that other movie.
Well, I'm looking at her IMDb. The Devil's Hand. maybe?
No, give me a second. I'll find it.
Gone.
What was the name of the movie that she was in? It wasn't Wreck. It was what was it again?
Quarantine.
Quarantine. Give me a second, because I know that she was in it.
There's a
Sound
question.
check. What?
Yeah.
Another game that we played was we picked out our favorite, like, specific scenes from movies. So, like, what would you say is your favorite villain speech?
From
Oh,
any. Oh, Jesus.
I hit John with a surprise on that one. He was not expecting me to say what I said.
What did you say?
I
You
don't
said,
even know. I don't know.
shit, what did you say? You said,
I said the speech from the movie that I told you I couldn't stand. The one with the fucking well. See, I'm Zombie Brian. God damn it!
No, what's happening? We're having error 404s. This is what's happening.
Yeah. We're all airing out today. What was it? True Romance.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's right.
Speech in
Yeah.
True Romance. He was
don't
like,
like True
treated you like a son. Like that.
Yeah,
is a
that's me.
great-
He went with like, the director at the end. That's what. Yeah, it did shock me. That's right.
You didn't
And he's like,
True Romance?
he wasn't really like a bad. I'm like, he was a bad guy. There's
He
no
was.
doubt he was a bad guy. And that's I love that speech. That made the. I didn't like the movie. I really did not like True Romance, but that speech was everything. I loved that. There was so much. The actor that gave that speech, there was so much passion in his voice, and he portrayed that character at that exact moment so well.
Mm.
I was like, literally, I like had chills listening to him and watching him give that speech.
Because he was legitimately heartbroken. Like he was,
Yes.
he was like angry and wounded at the same time. It was cool. What about you, Bri?
I have no fucking idea. I couldn't.
There's
I can't even think.
movies.
I
And in
can't
movies, they have villains, and in those villains they give speeches.
Yeah, I know. I can't think of any movies that I've seen recently or anything with villains.
I would put like what was it, There Will Be Blood, something like that. You like something in that kind of perspective?
I mean, well, if you want, I would go. That's a good choice too, because that whole movie is
Yeah.
fucking. That's a masterpiece. You want to talk? See, this is what doesn't make sense. The Assassination of Jesse James is a slow movie. Fine. I mean, it's a Western. It's got more action in it than There Will Be Blood, but I'm sure you've seen There Will Be Blood, which is a far more slower, more boring movie. Okay, goodbye.
He's still there.
That movie sucks.
There Will Be Blood?
No,
Sucks?
Jesse
Oh.
James and Robert Ford.
Okay, see, my point right there. Now, why is
Don't.
Feed into it, Bri. Feed into it. Right.
Can we talk about? Okay, I have something I want to talk about because it's fresh in my mind and I'm still in the middle of doing it. What's that? What, are you poking me?
I'm poking the bear.
I don't want to. Oh, wrong way. No. Okay. I want to talk about something. I don't know, John. I don't know how much of you or, I don't know how much you'll have to say about this, but I want to talk about Wes Anderson and his movies because it's still fresh in my mind and I'm still in the middle of watching them. And
Yeah, by the way, I think you sent me a message for John because I have no idea who Wes Anderson is, and you gave me 2 messages on Instagram, and I'd never heard of any of the movies that you had even mentioned.
what?
Yep. Definitely was not me. I just sat there going, okay, he's drunk, and I set my phone down.
Are you what? Wait, no, hold on.
Not me. I have no idea who Wes Anderson even is. And of the movies that you mentioned, I had heard of 2 of them, and I went, I'd never watch those.
I swear to God, there was a moment in the
I don't know
past
what
where-
he's doing. I have no idea what he's doing right now.
I don't know either. I don't know. There was a moment in the past where
Wes
I mentioned Wes Anderson, and you said, I think it was when I was in the Creators Den. You said you were talking about that you liked him in his movies. You mentioned him, and you had. Are you? This is a joke, right?
Wes Craven, maybe?
No, you said, what the fuck? Who did I have this conversation with? I swear to God, it was you. You mentioned you had a specific view and the way that you liked Wes Anderson's films and stuff. And
Oh, I'm gonna go through. Let's hear.
I
Oh no, the Royal Tenenbaums, Rushmore. Yeah, I've never watched any of those.
what?
Yeah, I've never seen any of them.
Who did I have this conversation with? You're
You got what I was doing, right?
what?
You got it, yeah.
I didn't get it. What was the joke?
Wes Anderson always divides his shots up perfectly
Oh.
even.
I see what you did. Okay, wait. So was it you?
No, I don't like Wes Anderson.
I promise you, it wasn't me.
Who the
I don't
fuck was I
dislike him. I
talking
just
to?
don't, I don't really care either way. I mean, his films are okay.
Like
That's a
Life
good joke.
Life Aquatic and all that. Yeah, I've never seen any of those.
Life Aquatic has some good moments.
Who the fuck was I talking to? What dude? No, I would be willing to stake my life on it that I was talking to you about it. That's crazy.
No, brother, I promise you.
Who the fuck was I?
Lolly?
No, I had like it was a moment. It wasn't a conversation. It was a moment where I said something about like I don't like Wes Anderson's films, and I could have sworn Toby was like, "Oh, he's got great movies because of these reasons and this," and I was like, well, maybe," and it wasn't you. What the fuck?
So the other night, like I'm getting ready to go to bed, or no, I woke up in the morning and like middle of the night, Bry sends me 2 Instagram voice messages, and he's just going off about this director and these movies. He's like, I finally sat down. I gotta tell you, I'm pleasantly surprised. He's like, you were right, and I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'll take the win on this, but I had no idea what he's talking about. Like, so I never said anything until right now because he brought it up again. I'm like,
That's why. It's why. Yeah.
now
No,
I'm in a corner and I have to let him know. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I was concerned because when you just liked the message, I was like, oh, thought you were gonna respond to that, but that's fine, whatever. And then you didn't. How? What? Okay, no. Now that makes me feel like I have a brain aneurysm or something because that's not. I could have sworn.
The best thing Anderson ever did was when Jeff Goldblum gets shot. That is the best joke I have ever seen. Like, it was just so timed. Like, just walk in, everybody's silent, and the guy just goes, and like shoots Goldblum. Like, that kills me.
Well, fuck. All right, never mind then, I guess. But for the record, I want to just put it out there. I think the best Wes Anderson film is Moonrise Kingdom. Okay.
Here, in my opinion, here's another Grimlock question. Here's another, in my opinion, an easy answerable thing. Hand That Rock the Cradle, suspense or horror? That is suspense.
I've never even heard of that. What the hell is that?
That
was that came after
suspense.
the Sons of the Lambs thing, yeah.
Yep, that is 100% suspense. That doesn't even follow the horror trope, like, at all.
And the thing that like everybody kind of forgets about is how good Ernie Hudson was in that.
Oh yeah.
Like, no one ever talks about him. He was so good in that movie.
I've never even heard of it.
I find it fascinating that you have 3 completely polar opposite types of movie watchers in this podcast right now.
Well,
John is much more of an obscure movie watcher, right? I'm more of your standard pop culture watcher, and Bry, you really are more of like the more cinematic kind of
classics,
in-depth classic movie watcher.
And indie. He's very indie.
Yeah, very indie film. Like, I'm very mainstream movie watcher. Like, that's me. I'm the main.
You like a lot of you like Slock movies too. You like Wolf Cop and like.
I love Wolf Cop. Oh my god.
You like those.
I downloaded both of those movies to watch them because you said that they were good, and I haven't watched them yet.
What, Wolf Cop and another Wolf Cop?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna find them absolutely horrible, but they're awesomely horrible.
Yeah, they're like just mainstream. You have the love for the really like schlock films and the mainstream as well.
Yeah. Now I can't lie. Like, what was the film that we just watched the other day when I was at your place? The one that you, me, and Jared sat down and watched.
Oh, Nightlife.
God, Nightlife.
That was great.
Bry. Oh, okay. Bry, so because I'm a very physical actor. Like, I'm a very physical. Like, we all know I love physical comedy. I love physical acting. Like, I'm a real big action fan. I pay very close attention to the stunt work done in movies. The stunt work in this movie was not hard to miss because they abused the hell out of these stuntmen, and these guys like went all in. They had something to prove. These stunt guys had to have something to prove. Like, they had to be a brand new company, and they had to have been a brand new company, and they had to have some reason, because the very first stunt that we see, I swear to God, that guy had to have snapped his femur.
Oh yeah, the guy, it wasn't a big stunt, but he hurt himself. You can tell he really hurt himself.
God, and just the way that he like, and if you're not looking for it, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, a guy fell off a motorcycle. No.
You say it was called Nightlife?
It's called Nightlife.
1989.
Yes.
Yeah. You're probably gonna have trouble finding it.
Oh, I can.
It is. Holy mackerel! The stunt act, like when they threw themselves out of the cars. or fell off the back of a car, or just, oh my God, like
Here's the
everything.
question.
Yeah.
Favorite comedy stunt in a film?
Favorite comedy stunt?
Yeah, like something that's done for a joke, but obviously a big stunt.
Oh God, I
I
can.
don't know about big stunt, but I can tell you a small stunt that I find absolutely hilarious every single time I see it. For
What's that?
it's it's the shot in Napoleon Dynamite, the street when he comes riding up on the bike, going up the ramp, and it breaks, and he does.
Oh yeah.
It's just so stupid.
For me, it's Adventures. No wait. Pee Wee's Big Adventure. When he gets on the motorcycle, he gives that whole speech and just veers off into the fucking sky. Like that stuntman got hurt. That was brilliant.
What was the name of the movie with Adam Sandberg? Where he was Hot Rod, where he goes to jump and he lands short and slams into the side of the. Now, just to let you guys know, I thought it would, like, I laughed my ass off, but at the same time, I was watching while I'm watching them, like I was stuck on that. Like the movie is going on, and I'm still sitting here like almost 10 minutes later, still thinking about that stuntman. And like he had to have been hurt. Come to find out later, doing a behind the scenes, like I'm watching, like one of my favorite things is Corridor Crew Stuntmen React, right? Like I love the Corridor Crew channel on YouTube, and they have a whole series called Stuntmen React, where they have actual Hollywood stuntmen come in and talk about these different scenes. And they finally brought up that scene. The stuntman legit got like seriously injured shooting that because it went wrong. Like it went all wrong. Like everything went wrong, but they decided to keep it in the film. But I think the stunt that I've seen, the most painful looking stunt that I've ever seen, I actually showed to John. And it was from a Corridor Crew YouTube video. It was a Stuntman React, and it was what's the name of that? What's the name of the director? He's old school kung fu movie, larger guy.
John Woo, Jackie Chan.
No. I can't remember his name, but this guy kicks this dude in the head. Legitimately kicks
Steven
him.
Seagal?
No. He's Asian.
No, I know what you're talking about. This guy like fucked up and kicked this guy.
And he's notoriously known for being very, very hard on his stuntmen. Like everything he delivers, he's like, it needs to look real. So he gives a real kick, or he gives a real punch. Sammo Hung. He kicked this stuntman so hard that this guy went from like standing straight up to hitting the ground within split second. I mean, he went from I'm here to I'm not in a blink. Like he just went and gone. And they replayed it in slow-mo, and it's a full-on, like he hits the stuntman right here and just full sends it. It is the most violent stunt I've ever seen performed in my life, and it was just person on person. It wasn't like launching themselves into a building or off a roof or into a wall. It was Sammo Hung kicking a man.
Yeah, there's a really good mini documentary that Jackie Chan talks about when Bruce Lee tagged him. Like they were doing a film and Bruce Lee tagged him, like hit him, I guess, pretty hard, and Bruce Lee like shut everything down, took care of him, brought him like water, like it was the sweetest he could be to Jackie Chan, and Jackie Chan's like, I want to be like that guy. It's a really good like little mini doc.
I'm gonna see if I can find this real quick.
There's
show Bry.
There's a stunt in, I think, one of the Mad Max movies where something went wrong and some guy flipped over the front of a motorcycle and like banged his shin on the car that was coming towards him or something and broke his fucking leg. And
there's a lot of like
they kept it in the movie.
Had somebody die.
All right, I found it already. Like it's just that good. I'm sorry. I gotta play this. I don't care. I don't care if I gotta cut this part out later. I don't care. I got to play this for you guys. All right. So let's see here. Let me fast forward just enough to where it needs to be. Here you go. All right. So, Bri, you've full screen yourself right now. Like full screen your screen, like so that everybody's like blown up, just so you can see the beauty that is what you're getting ready to see.
Uh-huh.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This is 1989 Sammo directed movie called Pedicab Driver with some brilliant fights. Sammo, he's known for hitting people hard. Yeah? Yeah.
With the heel.
With the heel.
His whole body.
Fucking Christmas. Jesus.
That's no joke. Did you see how fast that guy went down?
Jesus.
Even in slow motion, he still went down as fast as most stuntmen go down on a regular stunt. Like,
Jesus
that guy
Christ.
disappeared. He was there. He was just enjoying. Like, this was just a henchman. Just like, you know what? I'm gonna take a quick break. Let me go ahead and light this. Gone. Cigarette's still like dead, standing like a Roadrunner cartoon. He's on the ground and like dead. Like, I don't know how he's not dead.
This, yeah.
The worst stunt accident that happened on Darkstone happened to me.
Oh, is this when you got clocked?
Is
No,
it the
this
horse?
is actually there was a
It's the horse.
it was a bookshelf, no, not a dresser that they rigged to explode. So when I land on it, it just like blows up. But they forgot about the windowsill and the corner that was on the other side of it.
Oh, so it went and you went into the windowsill?
Yeah, it just took me in the back of the neck.
Oh.
How is that not worse than that? How is that worse than the horse?
Or the mace. Wasn't it a mace that you got clocked with?
Yeah, I didn't lose the day with the mace. I just kind of fell down. When I hit the corner of the back thing, I remember the rest of the day.
You know, and this is what upsets me. I've been on set filming with John. I've been in a movie with John. Spade versus Psychotic, perfect example. John will not let me perform any of my, like, he's like, you don't actually have to fall. I'm like, no, I need to sell it. Like, this is how it has. No, you don't need to fall. Meanwhile, John's yelling, God damn, and like literally launching himself across the room against concrete into a wall. But he's like, no, Toby, you don't need to do that. You don't need to.
Yeah, but I won't.
Just let me be me. It's my dream.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if we're still able to, like, you know, pull off our own stunts, fucking do it.
He sees me get ready. Like, he's like, all right, this is the next scene. I'm like, oh, I get to fall. And he's like, no. Toby, no. I'm like, what? He's like, you don't actually have to fall. What?
No. The amount of people who would kill me if you got hurt on set.
You know everybody. You know, even Zombie Bri knows. They blame me. Nobody's blaming you if I got hurt. They'd be like,
stunt.
yeah, they'd be like, what did he do? And you're like, well, he died. And you're like,
Okay, well, if you die, I mean, it's still, you know, I mean, it's in him doing the stunt. You know, he wanted to do it. So, I mean,
That face hit was pretty bad.
what?
I got hit with a flail.
Are you talking about 1408?
no, she's talking about John Johnson in a hotel room and Skeleton Key.
That one actually.
And we wonder why he has Parkinson's.
It was Stephen King for
It was
He
the
knocked
one-
himself
it was
into
the one
Parkinson's
hit
in that
When
movie.
I hit I was doing fine, like pulling everything, and then I went face first into a painting.
Oh, I saw
That one
you
hurt.
getting ready and like you threw yourself, like you knew what was coming and you could see that your like body like automatically like adjusted as it was going down in order to avoid the hit that was coming in that hotel scene.
There's also that one scene from the movie that you showed me where you jumped on the top of the car and your leg went a different way.
Oh fuck! Yeah, cars going 30 miles an hour are a lot faster than you think they are.
Oh yeah.
So like I was jumping for the front of the car, and my balls caught the end of it. Like I just literally like.
Jesus.
But yet I can't fall down onto a carpeted floor.
I was 15 at the time. I won't do that again.
Well,
I'm resilient.
Huh?
I'm resilient.
Are you?
Kinda.
Eh,
I mean, I heal like Wolverine, just a lot slower.
yeah,
A lot
it's
slower.
like,
Just
you
a
know,
lot slower. I'm pretty certain I'm immortal.
Wow.
Oh God.
Well, there's only one way to test, right? Like, how do they do it in Highlander? Oh, look at that! I'm immortal.
Brandon Lee thought he was immortal.
We shouldn't laugh at that.
I don't think you're immortal.
So terrible.
So, John, you got anything else? I mean, we're
Yeah.
at 105. We're at 105. I'm having a great, like, this has been a great show. Like, I've really missed filming Arrow 404. So if you guys want to keep going, I'm all for it. I'm all for an extended Arrow 404, man.
Okay. Well,
I was really excited to talk about Wes Anderson, but nobody here knows who the fuck that is, so I got screwed over on my segment. So whatever, let's keep going.
Do you want me to make a Zombie Brides irrelevant segment
No.
for the next show?
No, we don't.
Because I can give you like a whole intro and everything.
No, we don't need.
You
that.
said
It's
you
fine.
knew Wes Anderson, but you didn't know what I was doing with the books.
Well, okay, because your references are so fucking obscure. It's ridiculous.
They are vague
You're
and
putting books up with a phone in the middle. What the
Any
hell is that?
shot of his film, any shot of any of his films, and everything is perfectly placed. It's all like
Yeah, it's what is it? Hold on, there's a word for it. Wait, it's a hold on.
staged.
Nope.
no, it's
Hang on.
everything weighs the same. Like each side of the frame has the exact same amount of stuff that's in the other
Symmetrical.
side. Yeah,
No,
symmetrical.
it's
Symmetrical.
There's a word for it. Hang on.
You got it.
Planimetric staging.
Okay.
That went a little too far. I don't know what happened to it.
All right. What do you want to say about Wes Anderson?
What?
His hair?
Yep.
No, it's fine. We don't need to kiss.
No, it's your turn to talk there, buddy. Let's see
Say
it.
your point.
What do you want?
What did you want to bring up? What do you want to talk about?
I just wanted to talk about how I noticed some specific, things about all of his movies.
We'll do it.
Oh my fucking god! Now you put me on the spot, and it's just awkward.
Name one.
You asked for the spot.
I didn't ask for the spot. I asked for us to talk about the.
All right, see, he lost his chance. John, what do you got? What do you got next for us there, buddy?
All right. So we did Western.
Yeah. Or.
Okay, so now we're looking at action films. Toby said. The fuck! I was really drunk when I wrote this.
We were both pretty drunk when we did this.
Okay, RoboCop, Scott versus
Scott Pilgrim versus the World
and then True Lies.
and True Lies.
You called it. Wait, you're saying True Lies is an action film?
Are you saying it's not?
I mean, compared
At
to
a minimum, it's an action comedy.
Or a parody, yeah. But no, it's not even a parody. They literally kill people
I
constantly.
mean, sure,
And people die. There's terrorists.
yeah, but
I mean, in a comedic sense at times, but it's still action. Like,
Well, let's hear your argument.
yeah,
Well,
let's hear your argument.
I don't. Okay, because in a typical action film, like, okay, if you're putting it up against like fucking First Blood, something like that, would you consider it an action film then?
Actually,
Again,
it's not First Blood.
I
know if it's action. Like I have like I think it almost falls into like suspense.
Yeah, I would more put the very first Rambo movie, Rambo
Rambo
Blood.
2.
I would put that more in thriller than I would action.
Fine,
Yeah, all
Rambo
the sequels
2.
are action, but
But
True Lies.
True Lies might not be violent action, but it's
pretty
definitely
fucking
action.
Hold up. Nope. Sorry. Can we cut this entire thing out? Because I kept thinking you were talking about True Romance, and I was like, that's not action whatsoever. True Lies is definitely action. I'm sorry. I did not understand. That was wow. I'm sorry.
Say it again.
True Lies is action.
all right. My choices
I fucked that up hardcore.
was
Yeah.
Terminator 2, Die Hard, and Lethal Weapon. Oh, it's like we agreed.
Oh,
We
God,
agreed
he's-
that
he's-
our favorite recommended action film was Die Hard.
Was Die Hard. Yep. What is your argument? I got listen to how painful this is for him. Do you see how painful it is for him right now?
No, I agree that Die Hard's an action film. I just don't think it's a Christmas movie.
You and I are together on that, Brian.
Thank you. Good. Okay, at least I'm not alone.
I think it's a semantic. It's missing one word. I think it is a Christmas themed movie.
Yes, I will agree with that.
You are a fool. There is like 2 scenes in that movie that involve Christmas decorations and a guy wearing a sweatshirt, a dead guy. That's it. There's a Christmas party, but there's not even Christmas music or decorations in that scene.
I don't know if I'd really go with it being a Christmas themed movie. I would say that it's like Christmas is happening around the time of the movie.
Right. Exactly.
But it is during a Christmas party. This is why I give John kind of like a little leeway on his argument. It's a Christmas party. It's a Christmas office party.
But there's no
Christmas
decorations.
There are decorations. There is a little bit of Christmas. There is a little bit of Christmas movie or Christmas music in the movie. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I know.
It's in the background of scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And at the one point in time, it's you hear the ho ho ho. He says it. So
where he does like packing tape of like Christmas tape on his back with a gun.
Yeah, but
again, because it's around the time of Christmas and it's during a Christmas, or nowadays they say holiday party.
I'm saying Christmas theme.
Fine.
To me, Christmas theme means everything about the movie is themed around Christmas.
Okay, you're right.
A Christmas Story is a Christmas themed movie.
Okay, so good. Then it's a
Home
Christmas
Alone,
movie.
Christmas themed movie.
If it's not a Christmas themed movie, then it's a Christmas movie. All right, I'll agree with that.
No, nobody said that. You're the only one that came to that conclusion.
No, if you're saying that a Christmas theme is specifically being Christmas itself, that means a Christmas movie is just a movie that takes place around Christmas.
Okay, wait.
Okay, for me, a Christmas movie is a movie that's the entire movie is about Christmas itself.
Yes.
A Christmas themed movie is everything within the movie revolves itself around Christmas. Like it's like everything in the movie, it's definitely like it's either Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, but it's not, the movie itself isn't about Christmas.
It's a Christmas party.
Die Hard happens to be at the time, maybe, because they don't say the date. They don't say the date. I know our Christmas parties at my last job, they were doing that shit December 10th. Like,
I'm pretty certain they say it's Christmas Eve.
Like, that's like saying you go into Walmart next week and now whatever you're shooting in Walmart is a Christmas themed movie. Why? Because Walmart doesn't want to wait for Thanksgiving or Halloween or anything else, and they're going to have Christmas decorations up next week. That doesn't make it a Christmas themed movie. Just because you see Christmas decorations by themselves or a ho 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 doesn't mean that that movie is a Christmas movie. Bruce Willis himself has even stated it's not a Christmas movie, it's a Bruce Willis movie.
Yes, because Bruce Willis is definitely an intelligent man that's made all kinds of good decisions in his life. We should listen to him.
Yes, listen to the man who definitely has a better career than any of us could ever possibly dream of.
So does Trump.
Okay, we promised we'd never get into politics in here.
Not politics. I'm just saying he has a better.
That's
career
politics. Like you legit just went political.
He has a better career than us.
I'll agree.
He is.
Bride's just like,
No, I don't think it has anything to, just because it has Christmas stuff in it doesn't make it a Christmas movie. This has been my argument the whole time. The movie itself, there's a Christmas party scene in the movie, but there's no decorations in the scene. There's no fucking Christmas music in the scene. Has nothing. The only reason you know it's a Christmas party is because it's Christmas Eve. That's it. And the rest of the movie is a guy killing German terrorists. Well, it's Christmas, but just because there's shit in the background, that's a Christmas movie? No. Just because people decided to watch it on Christmas.
Theme. I'm gonna look up the definition of theme.
all right. So
the movie is
while John's doing that, Bri,
yeah.
why? Okay, I love Jennifer's selections. Okay, I love whoever's selections here. But why are two of these selections not fitting as the action genre? Two of these are easily not action genre.
Well, you're okay. I'm assuming you're talking about Independence Day and Fifth Element.
Right. And why are those not action?
Sci-fi.
They are more sci-fi. Now, are they sci-fi? Are they action? Or are they sci-fi action? Yes.
Terminator 2 and RoboCop.
I'd say the Fifth Element's more sci-fi, and Independence Day is more sci-fi action.
Yeah.
The definition of theme: an idea that reoccurs and pervades in a work of art or literature.
Yeah, but there's no.
They brought it up more than once.
They did what?
They brought up Christmas more than once. Therefore, it's a theme.
But it's not the main theme.
Jesus Christ! For a guy that always wants to get on my case about semantics, you're stretching every piece of semantics at this point in order to make this argument work in your favor.
No, I don't. I've already won.
I tell you what, we've got 12 people watching this right now. Out of the 12 people, is Die Hard a Christmas movie, or is it not a Christmas movie?
Christmas theme, not Christmas movie. Christmas movie.
Whatever, semantics, John. Like you always say to me, semantics. Is it or is it not a Christmas movie? Whether you Christmas themed or Christmas, however you want to state it. Okay, so Dot says is, so her and I aren't friends anymore. There is no more Team Weeby.
Of course,
that is dissolved. And I take back everything I said about you being beautiful, Wee. Billy says not. The writer says that it is, so that's 2-1. It does play Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC in the limo. That's one of the Christmas songs I was talking about.
This is a problem.
But that's not an answer, by the way. So I'd let you know you didn't agree one way or the other.
This is a problem because it's a very touchy subject.
It is touchy. It is like this. This separates friendships and family. Like I'm not joking. Like I have seen legit. Like I've watched a couple. Like I watched at a bar a couple legitimately that had been dating for 5 years, and the guy had just talked to me a week before that about proposing to this woman. They got in a heated debate of this topic, and they split it off forever. I've watched this legitimately dissolve, like real relationships. Like it's that serious for some people. Like Dot's finding out there's no longer a Team Weeby.
So,
that's ended. That's over.
And if you're talking,
but I honestly don't take away the beautiful thing. You are beautiful.
They know to bring that stuff out. Like that's why you say theme. Like it's a Christmas theme, so you make sure you get the stuff from the art department that is Christmas themed.
Okay, I'll give you that. If that's going to be your definition of it, that I'll give.
There is a Christmas theme in the movie, yeah, but it's not the main theme. It's not the point of the movie.
No, it's not the point of the movie. That's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, the point and that's what I was saying before, Brian, is it's not a Christmas movie because the focus of the movie is not Christmas itself.
Right. I'm saying it's a Christmas theme movie because the art department said so, and so is the definition of the word theme.
Yeah, but okay, hold on.
That's the most legitimate argument you've ever come up with, and you just came up with that now.
No, I've told you.
I'll award you that.
You didn't. You ignored me.
This is true. I do that quite often.
Look, hang on. There was a movie I just recently saw.
I still think you're beautiful. I admitted that. I said I still believe that you're beautiful.
I mean, it's the same argument is that like Western stories are not Westerns. Like there are stories that take place in the Old West. There's a Western theme, but the actual story itself is the like two brothers fighting or families feuding over whatever it is. They're just called Westerns because we give them a Western theme.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm confused with this argument now.
He's talking about like Die Hard's main theme is not Christmas, which is not. It's about like terrorists and all that stuff.
It's not about terrorists. It's about bank robbers.
German.
It's about German. It's about German robbers.
You're right. I agree with you. But in the same argument, Westerns are not Westerns. They just take place in the Old West, therefore they're a Western theme. But the actual stories of those Westerns are something completely different.
Okay, so give me an example of a Western then.
Young Guns. That's considered a Western.
How's that not Western themed versus being a Western?
No, we call it
based on what you were just saying. No, I want to know. Give me an example of a Western, not a Western theme.
Far and away. Far and away, it would be considered a Western to me. It's all about like filling, like taking land. It's all about like
No.
moving west.
You know what? If that's your basis for the argument, and that's your example, and I have to put kind of like 2 and 2 together with those, I honestly have to agree.
Yeah, because we call them westerns because they take place in the Old West, but the stories aren't about the Old West. They're really like personal stories that take place in the Old West.
So
Therefore, it's a
then,
Western theme.
Million Ways to Die in the West. Is it a Western? No, it's a comedy.
would you say?
It's a parody.
But it would be considered. It would be you'd find it in the Western segment. Or
Wait.
section
Yeah.
just because it's a Western theme.
So would you
Just like
say
Die Hard
that?
would be in a Christmas segment because it's in the Christmas theme.
I hate that you make sense.
If I ever see Die Hard in the Christmas section of a fucking movie, anything, I'm moving it over to the action section. I don't give a shit where it's at.
So would you say that with this logic, the movie Chisholm?
What
Would
is
that
it?
Chisholm?
With Disney Lords?
What?
You said Chisholm?
I said Chisholm
Oh.
with John Wayne
we
movie.
just went straight OnlyFans for a second.
Would
Sorry.
you say, would you say
Sorry.
that is? Would you say that that's a Western movie then? Because it
I
has
know
it
it
deals
is.
it deals with some guy selling horses and taking land back and all that shit and blah blah blah. So would that be a Western movie then?
Oh, probably. Like if it's about like the actual living in the West or moving west or that kind of stuff.
All right then. Interesting.
Oh, see, look at this. Look at all the people. See, look at the argument you started with this shit.
Oh God.
You know what?
Well, so hold on.
It's a solid argument. It's a solid argument.
Yeah,
Far and Away could easily be considered a romance well over a Western
with
because it does take place in multiple locations.
So with this logic,
But it is about traveling to the West.
I was just
And
using that as an
establishing-
example as like what a Western is. We call them all Westerns because they're Western themed. So we call all Christmas movies because they're Christmas themed, but it isn't about the West. We call it Western.
We dot. You know what? We dot. I'm gonna interject here. We dot. I want you to make that phone call, and I want you to record that phone call so that we can play it right here, and they can tell us where that movie is located on the Blockbuster shelves at the last Blockbuster.
I'll call him right now. You want me to?
Try do it.
He's
Knock it
already
out.
done it for me.
Call the last Blockbuster and say, "Can you please tell me what section you have your Die Hard?"
Wait, you have the answer to that. You have the answer, right?
To your movie question? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to know? Should we do it here?
Should we do it here?
To my movie question?
No, his.
No, we're doing a mini documentary, and he had to call the last Blockbuster and ask them if they had Plan 9 on the shelf.
Did they?
Do you want to know? Should we do
Yes.
it right now?
I said
Wait.
don't.
Can we do it? Can we do it right now, John?
We'll do it right now. We're recording.
Wait, the Plan 9 remake or the original Plan 9?
The remake.
Yes, I want to know. I have to know. If John doesn't want to hear it right now, Bri, you have to message me.
No, we're recording this, so we can do it.
Okay, let's do it.
So you want to do it right now?
Do they have it?
They did not have it.
No, they don't.
Okay, so I'm taking them one.
Yeah.
Wait, are we doing a road trip?
I'm doing a road trip.
You honestly want me to call him right now? Because I will.
You said yes, do it. You said we're doing a mini documentary?
Yeah, you know what the thing I was going to do with going across the country, stopping at all the movie sets and shooting scenes?
Yes.
Part of that is going to be me taking Plan 9 to the last Blockbuster.
Can I please come with on that? I swear to God, if it takes a week, I'll take a week off of work with no pay.
Oh, yeah, if you want to get, well, that could be.
Well, I'm going. Wait, I'm supposed to be on that, right? I'm going too, right?
I haven't done a fundraiser all year. I will fundraise just to support me to make this trip.
So hang on. What do you want me to ask them if they have Die Hard and where is it or what?
Was Die Hard in
Well,
the
first of all, we know they have Die Hard. The
Probably.
question is what section do they have Die Hard sitting on their shelves?
They don't have a Christmas section.
I guarantee they have a Christmas section or a holiday
They didn't
section.
have one before.
I guarantee they have a holiday
They set
section.
it out during the holidays. That's all they ever did.
So if I call them and be like, what could you tell me what section Die Hard is listed on?
Actually, just ask them that. Ask them, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
No, don't ask him that. Don't ask him that. That's not fair. Ask him where. Say do this. Say, where do you currently
know
have
what you're
Die
asking.
Hard? What section do you currently have Die Hard listed under at your store right now? And if they say action, say okay. Another question: when the holiday season comes around,
Oh my god.
do you move Die Hard from action to the holiday
yeah,
section,
no,
or do you keep it where it's at?
You
And
really
let
want me
them
to
know.
you want
Just
me
say,
to-
hey,
no.
hey, just say, hey, this is Brian. This is Brian. You know, from I'm with the Error 404 podcast on YouTube. I've just got a quick question for you. We're trying to. This will help. Just say, we're trying to solve a great debate. We've got our viewers are watching.
you call.
Or, like, make it. No,
You got the
Brian's
whole
better
thing.
for this. I am not sober enough to make this call.
You really want me to go this in depth with it?
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I want to see if you have the balls, Bri. Like, that's
What's the
the
number?
whole reason. Don't let John do it because he's not impartial at all. Like, he's
John
gonna
Brian
skew
impartial?
he's gonna skew the question in such a way that they're gonna answer it the way he wants to. Why? Because he could sell ketchup popsicles to an Eskimo.
11 Northeast Revere in Bend, Oregon. Our store operating
Oh, I don't
hours
think they're
are
open.
Sunday through Thursday from 10:30 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Leave a message. Leave a message and ask them to text you back.
Or
Like,
by online order, please
tell them to hit you up on Instagram or message it.
or member, please press 1. Blockbuster.
Hi, I am this is going to sound weird. I have a question. I'm currently in the middle of doing a podcast right now, and we have a lot of people watching, and we need to settle a debate. And I'm hoping you can help me with that.
All right.
Okay. First question: do you have Die Hard in stock?
We do.
Okay. What section is it listed under?
Action.
Okay, and during the holidays, Christmas time, would you move that movie over to the holiday section, or would you keep it in action?
Yes, we do. We move it over to holiday.
Oh, okay. Wow, that you've thank you very much for that.
No problem.
I'm sorry for wasting your time, but you've settled a great debate just now.
It's a good question.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, okay. Fuck. All right, fine. Bri, you understand what this means, right? Like, we have to concede at this point.
The last video store said it.
We have to concede. Bri, we both love Blockbuster. You know that we both love Blockbuster. We have to concede. We have no other choice. At this point in time, I have to concede. And I, as somebody that grew up through VHS rental places, DVD rental places, I have to concede and say, fine. If the very last, Jesus Christ, chicken, I have to concede and say, if the very last Blockbuster, look, she's cheering for you. If the very last Blockbuster is willing to say that they take the movie out of action and move it to the holiday section come Christmas time, I have to concede and say,
But I'll argue Christmas.
Die Hard is a
theme
Christmas
versus
fucking
Christmas movie.
No. It's not. It's a Christmas themed movie.
fine,
That's
yes,
what I'm
I'll say
saying.
Die Hard is a Christmas themed movie. God,
Not a Christmas movie.
why are you acting up? He's not on your team.
Oh, that fucking whatever. That's fine.
I bet that guy is laughing his ass off right now and being like, first of all, I promise you that's the first time anybody has ever asked anybody at that Blockbuster that series of questions. Because did you hear what he said? He goes, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
I guarantee he's never had anybody ask him that question. Like, is Die Hard, where do you have Die Hard right now? What's in the action section? Okay, come the holidays, do you keep it in action or do you move it? And he was like, that's a really good question. We move it. Like, he's never been asked that. Why? Why do you insist on doing what you're doing right now? Don't do it again. Don't.
Fuck.
Even the fucking chicken is laughing at me right now, Bri. Do you hear this shit?
Yep.
Can you hear?
I can't.
Right, we lost. Like we lost bigger than shit. Like that backfired on me more than my marriage.
It was really exciting when he said action. I thought we were gonna, and then he was like, "Yeah, we move it." Fuck. Fine.
Yeah, as soon as he said it, I was like, no.
What is that? What are you doing?
Oh, fuck you, John. Fuck every part of you right now.
Why? What?
Go there.
You can't. That's product placement. We can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do product placement. We're not sponsored.
They don't exist anymore.
Yes, they do. I just called one.
Would you stop
No, they're
laughing
not,
at
they're
me?
not a part of the. But I worked at a Blockbuster once.
Uh-huh.
1 week, and I accidentally knocked over all the shelves. And I just walked out. I was like, I'm gonna go.
You guys continue for a minute. I'm gonna fuck up this chicken.
Toby's fighting a chicken right now.
Yeah.
So
I imagine
we are now in control of this
A lot of
podcast.
cocks
Hey,
in
by
it.
the way, completely unrelated to the podcast. I just saw this right now and it just reminded me of the question. So you know how you said can't wear the Hillary Duff shirt for the thing for
for Amazon.
I have to okay, so
Yeah, permission and slip.
one of the other movies that I picked to do was Wayne's World.
Mhm.
And I'm assuming can't wear that.
No,
Fuck! That's the whole point.
it's copywritten material. You can't put it in another movie.
So, okay, what if I like cut out a piece of paper and just wrote like fucking Wayne's World on it and then taped it to
You
the
can do
front of
that.
the head?
You can do that because it's not trademarked.
Fuck.
That's why, like in Monster Squad, they wear Stephen King rules. Like they don't have a Stephen King shirt. They just made one. They made one that said Stephen King rules. That's what I did.
Fuck. So what when are we going on this trip? You say November?
Yeah, it'd be the early November. It was supposed to end with me going to the Ghostbusters premiere.
Oh.
Or not end. I guess we go up. We go up. So we go south. We go through Louisiana.
Uh-huh.
We go cross up to L.A. There's some shots I have to get in L.A. Then I go to the premiere.
We're going to L.A.
And then we go up to
Wait, hold on. We're not. Are we passing? I thought we're going like under through all the
Yeah.
states.
we are.
So we're going through Tombstone, right?
Yes, I already made a call.
Okay, I wanted to make because that's like my main. Okay, keep going. Where L.A. Then where?
Well, there's certain bucket shots, bucket list shots I've always wanted to take,
Uh-huh.
and so we're taking those along the way.
Mhm.
We're going to the Shining Hotel. We're going to.
That's in Colorado. You really want it? We're going all the way. Okay, sweet.
We're going to the Louisiana graveyards where everything's up above Mausoleum Central. We wanted to shoot a scene in the desert. I've never shot a scene in like every LA movie. That always has an argument in like a road with like nothing around. We're going to the salt lands.
The Salt Flats.
Yeah, Salt Flats.
You're welcome.
I just said that. What?
And then we're going. I have to get the shot, which is driving a top-down convertible on the Strip in LA.
Yeah.
It's been in so many movies. I've never done it. I want to do that. Then I have a pit stop where I go to the Ghostbusters premiere, and then Mariah's going to fly out.
We're meeting her in Washington.
We're going up. We're going to Endor.
When is this happening?
November.
Oh shit! I gotta put in fucking leave for work.
It'd
Wait,
be like
when in November? When in November?
Early.
Okay. Anniversary is November 25th. That happened during that time. I'd have to pull
No,
contact.
November
No, my
11th,
marriage
we're going to LA for the Ghostbusters premiere, and then that'll be like near the end of it. And Mariah wants to go to Endor, so we're taking her to Endor. So we're going to show the big woods.
That's exciting.
Is that did they do that in the Redwood Forest or?
Mhm.
Okay.
I thought you said we were going to Washington.
I think this is where we're going. And then
Yeah.
we're Redwood Bar.
Well, no, that's in California. Well, I
That's
guess
in
that could be
California.
all through.
Well, yeah, but I mean the Redwood Forest is California.
Well, yeah, and I think we're going to where they shot it. Where they shot in Washington.
couldn't afford the California set. I had to go
I
slightly north.
was gonna say because I was looking forward to going to Washington too. I've never literally the farthest west I've ever been is Wisconsin. So this whole trip is gonna be a fucking
So,
experience.
did you just literally say the furthest west you've ever been is Central America, like Central North America, like the almost dead Central North America?
No, well, it's northeast or west, Midwest. That's the word.
Wow.
I've been south many times, and that way up to New York.
Yeah,
and
but
stuff.
I'm talking lateral movement.
Yeah,
like-
the
Like
farther.
you stop like at the dead center line of the U.S. You're like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Minnesota, you're crazy.
Even so, when I went to Wisconsin, I was like fucking 4, so I don't even remember it. That's literally the farthest west I've ever been. It's upsetting.
You know, I'm gonna have to post that on my TikTok now, right? Like, I'm gonna have to pull that clip of them saying,
What? Oh yeah.
I did. I heard from one of my friends that she's gonna fly me out to where she lives, which is closest to San Francisco, and we're gonna stay in San Francisco for like a week. Allegedly, this is all hearsay. I have no idea. If this is
Allegedly.
Allegedly, could be crime.
but there is a stop on the list that we have decided, which is going to Alcatraz. That's going to be exciting. But I want to go during the day because I want to film shit, not during the night because you can't see anything. And
Wait,
I only let anybody in at night anymore. Unless you're filming there. They got
if I come with you, can I be the Sean Connery of your Nicolas Cage?
are you making a rock reference?
Yes.
Did you?
I've never seen that movie. Hey, listen. To be fair, I have it on my my Plex server. I purchased it legally with money to watch.
I would
it.
argue that's not fair. I think that's unfair. That's actually worse. As you
What?
haven't watched the movie.
I'm gonna watch it. I've been doing it Wes Anderson stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop taking my pills until you watch this fucking movie.
Okay. You can't.
What?
You can't saddle me with that.
You can't do that.
Sure I can.
It starts now. No pills from now until you see. Listen, Bri, we can end this podcast and I can immediately throw it up here on the screen. We can all just watch it together.
I have it ready to. I will watch it. I just need to let me finish the Wes Anderson movies. I got like 2 left. Right? 2.
I've never hated Wes Anderson more.
No. Listen. All right. It's fine. You just take your fucking pills. You're not gonna. Don't do that.
I'm gonna take my pills.
It's like, please God, just take your pills. Just take your pills.
That's
Oh,
right there.
Just
This is what Toby was talking about. Like if he died on set doing a stunt in your movie, how people would be pissed off at you. If people got pissed off at me because I killed John Johnson because I didn't watch a specific movie, you know how fucked up that would be?
Okay, listen, there's a big difference. Like me performing a stunt and dying is a lot different than John not taking his pills and just getting really super shaky. Like there's a big difference.
No, it's not shaky. It's it's not shaky.
No, I know. You don't
It's-
get
it's
shaky.
awful.
We know
I
it's
just
awful.
literally feel like I like a troll in The Hobbit.
No, don't pick those up.
Oh God.
I want your mother to see what Pig does. My pig's made a huge mess back there.
But actually, if you're, I'm guessing you haven't seen how many Michael Bay films have you actually seen?
Me?
Yeah.
Most of them.
Have you
Except
seen
for
Bad
like
Boys?
one of the most important ones. Like, what the shit?
His first 3
Let
Let me
films
guess,
are-
you watch Transformers and you're like,
Oh.
I've seen Michael Bay. Like,
Let me hold on.
You still haven't, you don't even like haven't seen Tarantino's first film.
Yeah, I have. What?
So my best friend's birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Toby that hadn't seen it?
what?
My best friend's birthday.
Why would I see that?
It's Tarantino's first film.
Well,
Who gives a shit?
it's a student film, but it's
I don't need to go. Listen, the last time I watched somebody's very first film ever and I knew who it was fucking Dark Star. And it's like the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. It's horrible.
Oh. Okay, so hang on. First, what the hell is his first feature film? Jesus Christ, this man's made a lot of.
Bad Boys is his first feature film.
No, it can't be. Oh, yes, it is. Wow.
Is it okay for me to say that I've never seen any of the Bad Boy films?
Okay, well, that's.
Have you seen?
I mean,
the
you could
first
skip
one
the
is
first and the
amazing.
third one, but the second one that's an essential.
Bad Boys 2 is the one that everybody essentially talks about.
Everybody's full of shit. The first one is the best fucking movie of the entire franchise. Like even the cinematics alone.
All right, so I've seen Bad Boys, haven't seen The Rock, I've seen Armageddon, great movie. Pearl Harbor, seen it. Bad Boys
All right, that's
2.
you stop. You stop. My
You
way
can stop. You can stop. As soon as you said Pearl Harbor, you can just stop.
Yeah, we're done at Pearl Harbor, except for one shot of Tom Sizemore shooting a pump shot at planes. The best thing
The
in the world.
Island. I've seen The Island, Pain and Gain, all the Transformers movies. 13
I'm not
Hours.
gonna lie to you. Like I didn't have a huge problem with I didn't have a huge problem with Pearl Harbor, but I will say that a better movie that involves Pearl Harbor, besides Tora Tora Tora, which is like that's definitely a classic, was Midway. If you guys haven't seen Midway, I highly recommend you watch that movie. That was
That's a
done
good-
really well.
I've seen the movie that John Ford made at the actual Battle of Midway, which prompted me to watch this new Midway movie because I had no interest in seeing that for some reason. I don't know why, but I watched his original like hour-long real footage in the moment movie, and I was like, "This is pretty interesting." So,
It was, but the new Midway movie is it was done really well. It's very well filmed. It's the actors are really strong in it. Like it's just it ended up being a really great movie. Like I enjoyed that movie for sure.
My grandfather was at Pearl Harbor.
Nobody cares about that, John.
He was boxing. They couldn't get the gloves off,
Well,
so you couldn't do anything.
you couldn't do anything.
my
They
grandpa,
caved the one so much they couldn't get the gloves off, so he couldn't do anything.
The Johnsons.
Yeah.
Been fighting and avoiding war since 1942. Like,
my
And
grandpa
Jimmy's
used to do
grandfather was in Indianapolis,
reconnaissance.
but he's actually at a thing right now for it.
I think. What? Yeah. No. What is it? What's the Yeah, my grandpa used to do reconnaissance. He would fly the like the B-52s and stuff, and like over the water and shit. And then he quit doing that and became a dentist.
yeah. My grandfather flew in the belly of B-24s. He was a belly gunner. And I have photos of his belly pod, the little circular belly pod that they sit in, with just bullet holes riddled all over it. Survived the entire war without a scratch. Like I was like, what? He's like, yeah. Like he's got his life vest that they have to wear while they're in the planes. And it's got a bullet hole going right through here. He never got touched. Just went. I was like, oh.
Jimmy's
Yeah.
granddad would tell us about the Indianapolis, he was one of those guys that didn't talk about it. He talked about it. He said that like there was a bunch of them that ran over to the side. They saw the torpedo coming, and they saw it hit, but it blew up on the other side. So it went like if it had gone off where they would have been dead instantly. But they all saw it go through into the ship and blow up inside of it versus like where they were.
It's a good question. I can't answer this because I don't pay attention to directors, but John and Zombie Bry are perfect for this question.
One hit director.
Favorite one-hit wonder director. Like he did one great movie, and then like the rest was either you never saw him again or what movie?
Fuck, what's it called? Tom Hanks directed.
Apparently, it wasn't a wonder. It was like I wonder, not like a wonder. Like she meant a wonder, not I wonder.
The thing you do.
Was he a director or a producer on that?
He directed it. It's the only film he directed. He directed some Tales from the Crypt, but that was his only. Actually, Arnold Schwarzenegger directed some Tales from the Crypt too, which I think is hilarious.
What?
Arnold Schwarzenegger directed like Zemeckis was letting everybody direct Tales from the Crypt. It was like everybody got their start doing that.
I can't think of.
That thing you do was amazing.
It's a pretty good movie, yeah. I can't think of a favorite one-hit wonder, but I can. The only one that comes to my mind is American History X. Whoever the hell did that. Tony
I think it was
something.
That's a guy. Wait, didn't American History X and that guy go and do it more?
What? Wait, what?
Nothing but Trouble. Dan Aykroyd's only directorial debut.
Who's the guy who did American History X? Tony something. But he only did.
You only did the one?
Yeah, pretty much.
Tony Kai. Tony Kai. Or K.
But I would say That Thing You Do and Nothing But Trouble.
Well, I would say Tony Kaye. He's directed 3 films, well, 4 films, but like he's only had one big film. Like he is a perfect version of a one-hit wonder. American History X. The next one he did, and then he did Lake of Fire, and then he did Detachment, which nobody's heard of either one of these.
Okay, I got one. This is going to be my favorite. 100%. What?
Fred Decker's another one.
So Billy Bob Thornton has directed apparently 7 things, all of which nobody knows about except for one, Sling Blade.
Yeah, Sling Blade. That's what
Sling Blade is fucking amazing.
Never seen it.
That is one of the best.
Bryce, start writing them down so you can show up and we'll just.
That's one of the greatest
like 3 or 4 movies the day before the meetup. Just write them down and we'll just watch them.
He's not going to watch Sling Blade. Don't put him in front of that.
I'll watch Sling Blade.
That's one of the greatest performances of all time.
I like writers.
He will talk to you the entire movie.
I will absolutely. If the movie, I promise you, if the movie is slow, I am going to Mystery Science Theater 3000 the fuck out of that movie.
Probably.
Yeah, don't show him
that.
I cannot watch slow movies. John knows this. Like, John finally realized, like, we went through what, like 8 or 9 Error 404s before John was like, all right, I get it now. He's like, yeah, because I explained to him, I was like, look, I have severe ADHD. I can't sit down to a movie that isn't like, doesn't have like some sort of extremely gripping action or something going on in the movie, or an extremely gripping, like constant dialogue, like a constant back and forth dialogue. If it doesn't have it, I can't watch it. I can't have slow parts.
If you're going to Mystery Science 3000 Theater, if you're going to do that with Sling Blade, every comment that you make about it, you have to do it.
John Ritter crying and being gay is not going to keep his attention for like that long.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to say, Bri? Are you trying to say that the entire time I talk during Sling Blade, I do like a
yes.
I'd sit back and be like, well, this movie is starting to kind of move slow. I don't know. I mean, the cinematography is kind of good.
But if he does that, then I'll do John Ritter have to fumble over every couch I walk across.
Some people call her Sling Blade. I call her Kaiser Blade.
Some people call it Sling Blade, but I call it Kaiser Blade.
What do you guys say is your favorite Billy Bob Thornton movie?
What?
Or performance?
Favorite Billy Bob Thornton movie?
Or performance?
It's Sling Blade for me, absolutely.
No, absolutely not. No, honestly, because I haven't seen it. I'm gonna go with fuck. Give me a second. I don't have it. It's like at the tip of my tongue, but I don't. Hold on.
His Bitten Dead Man's pretty good.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, he was in Dead. I forgot about that.
We're getting ready. Now we're definitely getting ready to determine. You guys are getting ready to see what I was talking about earlier, of the decisiveness of the types of movies that each of us kind of watch.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess yours.
Bad Santa.
No, not Bad Santa. It's gonna be the one with John Cusack with the airplane.
No,
not that one. Okay.
No. I got it. Where is it? It wasn't filmed. There's no way. Mr. Woodcock.
Oh.
Mr. Woodcock is my favorite Billy Bob Thornton.
What is
I'm all about that. Mainly because I think I kind of like relate to the character that he plays so well.
I completely forgot about that movie.
Zombie Brian's like, no. I can totally see Toby play. Like we could remake that movie and Toby as Mr. Woodcock. Like that's.
Yeah.
We were talking the other day in the movie in Angels Live yesterday, and we were talking. Somebody had brought up like TV shows like hospital TV shows or whatever, and somebody brought up the TV show Scrubs and House, right? Like they brought up Scrubs and House, and I love both those characters, and both of them for the same type of character, right?
You're talking about the lead guy in Scrubs and House?
Okay, so House, obviously the guy that plays House,
Hugh
Hugh
Laurie.
Laurie. I relate to his character, and a lot of people, like my wife, is like, no, you definitely match House's personality.
Mhm.
But Dr. Kelso is the one from Scrubs that I most relate to. Like I'm very much like Hugh Laurie's character House, Dr. House in the show House, in the fact that he's very cynical and he's very sarcastic, but he's seriously cynical. Like, well, he's more, I guess it's kind of weird because House is a more serious show, but House's character with his cynicism and his sarcasm is more humorous, whereas Scrubs is a comedy, but Dr. Kelso's cynicism and sarcasm, although about the same, is a much more aggressive, serious style of sarcasm and cynicism. But the moment we showed this to Sterling, he was like, nope, that's you. Like, he sat down, he watched episode 1 of Scrubs, and the moment that from the 3-minute segment that Kelso was on the screen as his introduction role as Dr. Kelso, he was like, this is 100% you. He goes all the way up to the very end where he said, oh, and by the way, from now on, whenever I'm here and you're in the room, you don't talk ever. And then he just walked the fuck away.
Have you guys ever seen Stand Against Evil?
Yes.
That was so well done.
Love that movie. I love that show. Stand Against Evil, like, he really is one of my favorite actors. He's never really any different. I feel like he's really kind of, for the most part, usually playing just him with a tweak.
Well, no, because
don't get me wrong, he's a little different in Wild Hogs. He's a little different in Wild Hogs.
I think before Scrubs, he was playing much more versatile roles.
Yeah.
And then after Scrubs, he started getting typecast. Well, actually, Office Space, he was pretty much different. He was heartwarming the whole time.
Yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't say that he's heartwarming. He was. No, I would still put him as similar to Dr. Kelso, where he was like disgenuinely genuine. Like, he's putting up a front.
Kevin Pollak's chat show?
No.
Kevin Pollak does a chat show where he basically talks to like an individual actor for an hour and a half. He does one with John C. and it's pretty good. He goes through like everything, Platoon, it's like how he got the roles, Oliver Stone, his relationship with him. Like, Oliver Stone basically saw him in a play and said, "You're leaving this play and coming with me to shoot Platoon." He's like, "What?" And he went to the director of the play and said, "I'm taking your actor." Like, I was like, "You're Oliver Stone, okay?" And then he was on his way to the Philippines.
Wow.
That's somebody who I'm legitimately not a fan of.
Oliver Stone?
I don't like his movies now. Not that much.
What?
I think his movies are good. He's just a dick.
I like JFK and Platoon's all right.
Now, oddly enough, as slow as JFK is, I was able to sit down and watch that movie like all 3.5 hours of it without a problem.
Yeah, that's because, see, I like it.
But it's got very engaging dialogue, and there's a lot of things going into it that kind of keeps your brain constantly moving. And as weird as it is, that movie makes so much sense.
Yeah,
like,
honestly, the only
you're
reason
like,
I like
wow.
it is because I'm such a fan of the whole like JFK thing. Like I'm.
Wait a minute. So you're a big fan of the JFK, like the whole thing, the whole JFK assassination, right?
Yeah, that's like one of my main favorite things to talk about.
Have you ever played the game?
What?
I'm
What?
confused on this as well.
There is a game out.
Trying to get in the hole. What happened?
There is a game out there. It's called JFK Reloaded.
Oh my god!
It allows you to reenact the JFK assassination as the shooter from the book depository.
Can you be the bullet?
To determine whether or not, and you get scored based on, did you do it based on the evidence that's been provided? Like, is it possible?
So you're telling me that this game,
You
you have
know how many times I've blown Jackie Onassis's head off her shoulders?
You're telling me you purposely have to miss the first shot, hit him in the neck in the
You
second shot, and
yes.
barely hit him in the head in the third shot.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
You have to do it exactly as the forensic evidence says that it happened.
That's fucking crazy.
It's 3 shots, and you have to time it correctly.
Isn't it like within 9 seconds or 6 seconds or something?
I don't remember the time frame, but you have to time it correctly. I have it's on. I have it on my Dropbox.
Right?
What's that?
You know,
What?
No, you can legit just like, I think if you just type in JFK Reloaded, you can just like download it. It's not like a Steam game. Like, I can legit give Bri the Dropbox link that I have because I have it uploaded onto my Dropbox. I must have played that for 3 hours trying to reenact exactly, because you also have to do it at the right. The first shot has to happen at the exact right time, and then the rest of the shots have to happen in time,
That's ridiculous.
in the right spots.
I'm not even sure.
But after a while, you just start shooting the driver and shooting the senator.
I have heard of this
taking
game.
Jackie's head off. It's amazing.
I think we should make one for Lincoln where you just enjoy the play.
Just no shots are fired at all. Like
Just
the
enjoy
security
play.
has already taken Booth down, and like Lincoln just gets to sit back.
You
and
know,
enjoy
that
the
somebody's
play.
like greatest performance. He's giving his greatest performance, but that's when Lincoln got shot, and then no one got to see the fucking end.
that was well, My American Cousin. I've always wanted to see that.
What?
So who's willing to play this game and see who gets the highest score by the next podcast?
I mean, it's ridiculous, but I would try it. I don't.
It's
think I can.
ridiculous, but it's intriguing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's intriguing just because it's a game, but it's fucked up.
Oh, it is.
It's I just.
That's not the
You're not
one-
wrong.
that's the most fucked up game that there is. There's a lot of fucked up games.
But can I? Okay, I don't want to get into like the whole conspiracy thing because that's a huge ass like conversation that we could have all.
Oh, that's a rabbit hole. Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe did it.
What?
No, what the fuck?
She was dead by then, wasn't she?
Yeah,
Was she?
yeah, yes.
Was she? I don't know. Is Tupac still alive? We're not going down that rabbit hole. Jesus.
I still send Jack's mother Tupac CDs.
No, okay, so I want to just put it out there that I don't know what your beliefs are on this situation.
Like
But
the
I-
Grey Bears are being blackmailed by the Snorks,
Jesus
and the
Christ.
Pink Snork
No.
is definitely the evil one. I mean, that bitch is always looking at what?
I personally think it was one guy
Oh no!
in the book depository,
With
And it was
with a
Oswald.
candlestick?
And it was what?
and it was Oswald.
You're right. There's no fucking way. And this, you know what? You're gonna change your mind when you go to play this game. You're gonna change your mind.
What?
You're gonna change your mind. I promise you, you're gonna change your mind when you play this game.
How? Why?
Because so just to let you know, the game developers used real world physics for this game. There's real bullet drop. There's real bullet
Wasn't the
trap.
game originally designed to try to figure out, like,
It was designed to see if it was even possible
Yeah.
for the magic bullet theory to be a thing, or to see if it was even possible for somebody to fire off those rounds at that distance. And not to mention the fact it's been shown by documented military records that Oswald was not that great of a shot.
I know he missed the first two. He barely hit him in the second one, and he barely hit him in the side of the head in the third one. It wasn't that great.
Right. You're right. And his head, by the way, I don't know how many people you've shot, Bri, but I can tell you how many I have. When a head shoots back, when it gets hit with a bullet, it's not because the bullet's coming from behind the head.
Uh-huh.
A head doesn't shoot backwards like this
He didn't
when
go
it's hit
sideways.
from
He went
behind.
this way.
His head literally shot backwards over his left shoulder. Like his whole head shot backwards. It didn't lurch forward and then go back.
Yeah, it did.
It's not like a bullet went through and then his head shot backwards. It went.
Okay, no, see, this is, I don't want to get into it because
You watched JFK?
Yes, I've seen this.
Do you not remember the term back and to the left? He repeats it like 8 times at one point. He's like,
I know.
back and to the left, back and he keeps showing it. Like it's almost disturbing the amount of times he re-shows JFK's head exploding
I know. I'm just saying.
from the back.
Right,
And
but
left.
also, again,
I also don't know if you know how bullets work.
yes.
So if a bullet hits a body, right, you're going to get a small entry wound. You're
Uh-huh.
going to get a huge exit wound.
Yep.
There is no large exit wound anywhere in the front half of JFK anywhere.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I know.
If you know, then how can you possibly say the shot came from behind him? They don't explode on impact and then enter and then exit in a smaller wound.
I just listen. All right, I'm going off of my extensive watching of the Zapruder film myself. Okay, and I saw very clearly. Which, by the way, the Zapruder film, it's it's the only evidence we have, but also it's a fucking Super 8 camera from the '60s with a lot of frames missing. Okay, so the shot,
Sorry, man.
right? It's very clearly you see he's there. All of a sudden, boom, giant blood explosion. And that's
Actually, the boom was here.
it was in front of his face.
No, it was not. And you can look at. Hey, listen. You can look at. By the way, there's plenty of JFK like on the slab photos available.
Huh?
His head is ripped apart at the back,
Yeah.
not the front. There's nothing wrong with this. He's got a small hole like here.
Yeah, because that was the second shot.
His head is ripped apart in the back. That doesn't happen from behind.
You're saying you saw it coming.
Probably not. I don't know how many bullets you've had fired at you, but I've heard a lot go zit, and I
No, I'm
never
talking
saw
about
a
Marilyn
single
Monroe.
one of them. It's
I'm
not
talking
a
about
John
Marilyn Monroe.
Woo film. Like you're not seeing like
I'm
this.
still talking about Mr. President, Marilyn Monroe. I'm not talking about the bullet.
It's not a fucking Marilyn Monroe.
Let's call Blockbuster again and ask them who did it.
What section is your JFK movie in?
What section is it? Oh, it's
Historical facts.
it's,
And, what are your
it's
thoughts
under
on the actual shooting? Do you think Oswald did it?
it's under documentary. Sweet. All I'm saying is, Brian, I'll sit back and I'll argue this with you all day, but I'm going to send you the link to that game, and I want you to download it. I want you just to even attempt to do what they say was done
Yeah,
on that.
it's within like 7 seconds. You have to get off 3
But
shots.
mind you, again, like I'm going to tell you, it's based on the exact forensic evidence that's found because it's all public record now.
Wow.
It's based on the forensic evidence. They took actual measurements. Like everything is to scale in this. Everything is to scale, not just to mention the speed of the motorcade, but the distance, the height, the wind, the barometric pressure was entered into this game. Actual bullet drop, like velocity, all of that is part of this game.
You had a big breakfast.
It's designed to see if it was ever even possible. You know what? We're hold on.
Oh God.
No. Hold on.
I remember Scott Bakula tried to shoot him and then like had to shoot him. That's all I remember about JFK.
Okay, let's see here. These are all like way too long. Let's hear. Okay, here you go. This is what we're gonna do.
Are we live anywhere? So this could be.
It's not. We'll be fine. Yes, we are live, and I don't care. It's on YouTube. I can always take it out. I'm not monetizing this anyway. All right, so here we go. Zombie Bri. This is only a minute and a half long or so you'll be all right. This is the highest. This is like the highest score that's been shot that's been gotten on this game. 748. Like who doesn't want to get a high score shooting JFK? All right, so here we go.
Buildings at the wrong angle already, but that's fine. that's a little cheap that you're not able to like zoom in.
Oh yeah, did you replay? Okay.
That's the first shot. There's the second. Oh, good. Good timing on that one.
That was just taking out the brain parts. I remember that. That's good.
Information on President follows. He and Governor Connolly of Texas had been hit in the car in which they were riding. We do not know how serious the situation is. We have no situation around. We have report that the president is dead. That he died about 35 minutes ago. That is correct.
So yeah, just to let you know, that's what the game is like. That's the setup. And everything is based on all the exact measurements, the speed, everything of that day was all taken into account and put into this game. Like all the physics and everything is legitimate. Like it's put in. So try it out, see what happens. See if you just are like, you know what? It's impossible. I'm just going to keep killing Jackie because that's what I do.
Have you seen the it's a documentary thing. It's called JFK, like 3 shots or something, 3 days or
No. What?
it's something like that, but it's literally all of the real-time news footage after the shot or after he gets killed. It's everybody, like all the news stations and stuff, the camera crew and everything, everybody talking about it from like the moment he gets killed up till like the next 3 days when he dies on Monday or whatever, and then the whole it goes through the Oswald getting killed by Jack Ruby and stuff, all that stuff. It's pretty fucking, and it's all real footage of when it happens.
Do you have that available to share?
No, I have it on DVD.
God damn.
You remember?
Yeah,
I was going to make a joke about why not just fly the air, like have a game where you can fly the airplanes in 9/11, and they have that. So that's
oh my
Yes,
God.
they do. They actually do have that.
they
Yeah,
have that.
That's
So
fucked
like,
that's another one. That's another one. Yeah, yeah.
oh,
That's why people
America's
think
a pretty fucked up place. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that yet or not, but
We've had 2 big ass tragedies. We made video games about them.
just 2, huh?
more just two.
You
Well,
should see that movie.
Resistance,
You
one.
should see that, bro. You should see the game I have about the Trail of Tears. It's ridiculous.
Well, actually, the Oregon Trail. I mean,
Yes.
we laugh about it, but like a lot of folks definitely on the Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Do you know that they're making an Oregon Trail like spoof or parody movie?
Yeah, I saw that. It's got like Harry Potter in it.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Brian's like, great. Can't wait until fucking Hermione dies of dysentery. Like, it's gonna be awesome.
These
The
movies.
best thing about that game is that it would save your tombstone, so other people when they played the game could find your tombstones for like previous games. That was the best part.
Yes. So
wanna
you
talk
could go
about-
by and you're like, oh wait, a tombstone. And you check it out and you're like, oh damn, here lies Dick. Great.
Yeah.
You want to talk about terrible fucking ideas for movies? It's a real movie. It's called Karen, and it's about exactly what you think it's about.
I've seen it recently. It's actually like isn't it supposed to be? Well, you could call it a suspense, but I mean, it's technically kind of like a horror movie.
It's
Like
I don't
she's
know, but
stalking these people.
it's taking itself seriously, and it's fucking stupid. It's
Yes,
really-
it is taking itself
I think it's a
seriously.
brilliant idea. I think it's going to make a lot of money because we're talking about it already.
Yep.
We're already talking about it. I mean, Shark, You Son of a Bitch became like popular because of the title alone. They don't know what the movie's about. No one. I don't even know what the movie's about. They're like, like it's just called Shark, You Son of a Bitch. That's
Oh,
what people talk about.
speaking of which, John, you have a package on the way.
The shirt. Oh,
The shirt, and we added some additional stuff in there.
Those DVDs.
Well, the DVDs are part of it. Yes. Angel added a little part in there to remind you of the filming when we showed up for the filming of Sharky Son of a Bitch.
Mhm.
And then we also threw in a bunch of the little mini Star Wars pop figures.
Oh,
Still in the box, never open.
anyone
So
wedge?
they might all be the same one. They might each be different. We don't know.
Anyone wedge?
I doubt Wedge is even an option because why the fuck would he be? And with that said, everybody, we're going to go ahead and we're going to end Error 404 this week. I hope you guys had a great time. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I know that I've been resurrected on this podcast with this iteration, episode 13. Zombie Bride, thank you so much for coming on out, having a great time with us, throwing in some insight. John, as always, it's a pleasure, and I cannot wait to knock out the next episode of this. John, do you have anything you want to say to the people?
No.
Okay. Zombie Bride, is there anything that you want to tell the people on your first day on Error 404?
Error 404 is now over. Time ill spent that you will never get back.